Alrighty, I'm going to start sharing and we'll get started with today's class. Again, this is all about creating content that converts, the best type of content for real estate agents today, how to create them, where to find them, concepts, ideas, kind of starting from ground zero and moving all the way into posting and after to really maximize the effort of our time. Alrighty. So it is here today, and let me know if you guys can't see my screen. I'm sharing it right now. Good morning. Good morning. Alrighty. So I know everybody here might have questions about whether or not to have a professional account, a personal account, what you're using. Let's just start with that. That one is the best account to use because we want to put all of our efforts into the account that we can manage. If you're able to post on multiple accounts, and you want to keep one private, just know that both are going to blend in. It's best to keep content a mix of personal and business because it is going to help the audience understand you, connect with you more, because we know 9 times out of 10 people buy from the person, not necessarily the product or service. They get to want to work with you. They want to be able to experience what it's like. So let's do that part of showing them what it's like to work with us by incorporating a mix of that personality and, of course, the real estate knowledge that we are experts at sharing. So understanding your brand, I'm going to quickly talk about this because it's essential to deciding on what to create. We are our own brand. We know we market to a specific audience. Who is that audience? Okay. Are they first time home buyers? Let the language that we or content that we create speak to that specific person. The topics, the values, the themes. We want to put out content that best represents us, not only what we do, but what we stand for. We want to also look broad and beyond all of the fluff that's out there on the internet, including what we are getting from the large language models. Yes, it is amazing content, but be able to say, that's not me. Be able to be, to have that discernment and say, I think it could be better. Don't take that first output as the best, right? Challenge what you get from, especially the AI or the inspiration that you get from online. We'll talk a little bit about that, what to look out for, but at the end of the day, what aligns with you is going to speak to your audience. And the audience will come as you continue to create content that best represents who you are. Enough about that. There is a class about branding that I did a few months back that is going to be on the BKCO Hub. So make sure to check that if you want more information about branding and in-depth discovery process of filling in those gaps. Mindset matters. This is so important because we want to be in the right mindset when we're going into creating content. What do I mean by that, right? We want to prepare ourselves for being in front of the camera just as much as we're getting ready for our day. High energy, be open to constructive feedback, and also don't discourage yourself. Progress over perfection. We want to work on those prompts and outputs. This is not the class to go in depth about that, but given that you know who your target audience is, who we are, we're realtors. We are in the industry to serve people. Those are our three things and pillars that we want to make sure is embedded in all the content we do, whether it's fun, entertaining kind of content, or if it is going to be educating, which is on a more serious level. Intentional scrolling. Now, building up on those good, positive habits, we want to be treating the social media, even the scrolling on the couch part of social media, as a job. Uh, we need to make sure that what we are liking is feeding the algorithm what we want back. Aside from sharing and liking our friends' posts and all of that fun stuff that builds relationships. We want, seeing that I'm okay, the connection was kind of lagging there. But we want to make sure that the content that we're putting out and the content that we are liking are in alignment in order to propel that push in the algorithm organically. Okay. And so that means, when you're scrolling, you're saving posts that are going to be repurposed, recreated. Maybe they're inspiration. I'll also pull up my phone too so we can look at how that process goes. So stick around for that and bear with me here. We go through the basics in targeting and creating that foundation. Here are the three best types of content that I want you guys to start thinking about, start creating. Okay, we talked about how to collect B-roll clips at your open house. B-roll clips are going to be the secondary clips. That's why it's the B-roll clip. The A-roll clip is an example of A-roll is me talking directly into the camera. That would be the main clip, and all of the extra like footage of the city, footage of the house that goes over is essentially what we call a B-roll clip in the production world. So B-roll clips that you can take at home are of you walking through the property, sitting at the in the property on the couch, maybe pretending you're writing an offer. Those are clips that can be repurposed that you can make use of with every property that you're in. So if you have any questions about the ins and outs of that, I did a class on that two sessions back, and that is particularly about what to capture. Now that we have that footage, we can make B-roll clip type of content, which only involves text overlay. I'll show you guys an example of that once I'm done with going over the next two types of content. The talking head videos, those are going to be the ones that, as I am right now, speaking to you directly into the camera, educating, connecting, building that trust. The trends that people are doing online, the funny videos, they don't only involve dance, but they involve concepts. So trends could be specific video formats that have been proven to work for other people, that have gone to reach the highest of numbers, and people use them over and over again. They recreate them. I'll show you guys the simplest way to create trends, whether it's using the audio or it's using the format itself. Now, if anybody has any questions, I want to open up the floor just in case. And if you're new here, please drop your email in the chat so you could get a summary of today's recording. I am very happy to share additional information as well. I'm going to give a moment. Does anybody have any questions really quick? Different types of B-roll content. Different types of talking head videos. Okay. Alrighty. Amazing. I love it. I'm going to send you guys a copy of today's class. The recording does come a few days late, but I get a summary of everything here that gives a really good breakdown on the things to do. Just that straight information. Okay. So let's move forward with the next slide here. Content type number 1, B-roll with text overlay. Here is a quick shot to the right of a potential B-roll clip. If we can all get into the habit of taking the video versus photo, you're going to have a abundant of resources and footage to use and repurpose later on. Think of it this way, right? I could take a video and then I can crop it into a photo, but I can't always take a photo and make it into a video. So when you're in that open house and instead of taking a photo of yourself standing by the door, just change it to video and still smile and hold a pose there. That's it. But think about doing videos more than photos. You can build up a library of a ton of media to use and repurpose over and over again. That's the purpose of B roll with text overlay, lifestyle or property footage with text on screen. Visually captivating, no talking required. The trick to these types of content it needs to be short, it needs to be under 10 seconds. Anything more than that is giving people and the algorithm the impression that your videos are not getting enough watch time. And watch time equates to interests. So if your video is 13 minutes long and people are not watching the whole clip, it's telling the algorithm that it's not interesting enough. And so we want to keep it short and sweet, keep it simple. The text on the video needs to be packed with value or have a very compelling hook. And that hook is going to be something that makes people want to read the caption. In the caption is where we'll delve into that information more in depth. So we can save all of that knowledge and information for the caption versus having a bunch of text on screen that people won't read. Visually, we want it to be simple. Visually, we want people to remember, even with the font choice that we're using needs to be the same, at least for a consistent amount of time, because one, it's going to save you brain space. We know this by a lot of the people like, who can I pick on? Mark Zuckerberg. Is he the one who has one outfit and tries as hard as to eliminate those opportunities to make more decisions? Because we make about 250 decisions in a day. So we can eliminate a couple of decisions. We could streamline the way we create content by selecting one font. Not only are we building with a lot of familiarity, but we're saving brain space, which is going to be useful for creating anyway. Next, we're going to talk about talking head videos. Oops. Talking head videos. All right, going back for it. Talking head videos. Alrighty. Quick I'm going to be very honest about what just happened there because it's something that I talk a lot about when we're doing talking head videos is that level of energy. I didn't do that on purpose. I was really finicky with the slideshow and the buttons, and they're invisible when I'm not pressing on them anyway. Um, so did you guys notice that when I said talking head videos the third time, I kind of laughed because it was embarrassing, but also it was like I'm saying it all over again. But my energy level was different and it came out with a smile and it came out with a level of like tonality that's more higher pitched. And people hear that higher pitch better. They hear it louder. People gravitate towards that versus a monotone speaker who's going to be talking like this. Think about that, right? Our favorite speakers, the motivational speakers, they get on stage with that energy, prepared to bring that to the talking head videos that we're doing. And honestly, it's not going to happen right off the bat. And so give yourself that space to get into character, to be able to get comfortable with yourself in front of the camera and also with talking. It takes time. This is a skill that is transferable over all industries. Meeting people, we're always trying to be sure we are communicating in ways people understand. It falls in line with that. It's the same thing, but really understanding the art of speaking to a camera could really elevate a lot of things. Um, Communication, eliminating so there's a lot of things that go behind this, but I want you guys to just start, if you haven't, by filming yourself for 30 seconds talking about one topic. Okay, here's an example, and I'll show you why this is essential, because you're not only just getting the practice out, but you're practicing filling in or closing the loop quicker. That's important for these talking head videos. If it wasn't for a script, right, and scripting your content beforehand will absolutely change the game. But being the one who is just reading off of scripts all the time it's not going to be sustainable, and it's going to look and sound like you're reading off of the script, and you don't want that. What could be cool to try out are two things. Okay. So talking head videos could be scripted and non-scripted, off the cuff, right? That 30 seconds of just blurting out what you want to say about the reason why it's so important to do that inspection as the buyer, even if the seller has the inspection already done. And one way could be, asking ChatGPT, hey, I am a realtor. I work with a lot of first time home buyers. I really want to get my point across about how frustrating it is to um, not want to do the inspection and da 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 da. ChatGPT, write me a script. Claude, write me a script. Gemini, write me a script. And that script, as long as it starts with a valuable hook, presents a problem, solution, and call to action at the end, it's guaranteed to work better for your audience, right? So it's easy to take that script and put it into the teleprompter app. The teleprompter apps that are on your phone will not only put the teleprompter and the words out, but it'll let you record it. So it looks like you're speaking directly to the camera. What you could also do is just start ranting. Just turn the camera on and start from the beginning and say exactly how you feel. And you will find that at the end of that video, like how I had repeated talking head video. And talking head video at the end, I sounded just much more excited and much more polished. We tend to have this uh, way of conversating that much aligns more with the way books are written, that starts with an intro that concludes with like that big conclusion, and this is the reason why. Social media doesn't work that way. Social media prefers that you give the spoilers first, so hence why the hook is so important in the beginning, to be packed with information. So in a video like this, in a video where we're talking about the seller already having an inspection, but we're advising the buyers to do the inspection first, that hook at the end, after I'm done talking about the what happened and why we're here. And then at the end, I'm like, that's why it's so important to do it. That's why. That's your hook. You could get creative and cut things up and bring the ending to the beginning. That's not what we want to talk about today on how to execute. But I just want to give you an idea that you could take that long rant and cut it to the very end. Cut it to the last couple of minutes or seconds, actually, not minutes. Every reel typically is 60 seconds or less, preferably. Um, there are times where you want a longer video, and I do get that. But the very end, you could simply just clip that and use it, right? You simply just clip that and use it, and it'll perform much better because it has that recipe. The hook, it presents the problem and it tells the solution, problem and solution, and the call to action. Don't forget about the call to action. And a call to action is, let me know if you have any questions. Reach out to me if you have any questions. It's simple sales psychology. If you don't ask for the sale, there's a likelihood you won't get it. There's a higher chance that you won't get the sale if you don't ask for it. So ask people and get comfortable with being assertive in that way. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. That's not a nothing. That is sales psychology in the form of social media. Next, we are going over content type 3. which are trendy topics, trend ideas that we can repurpose. Going back to what I was talking about in the beginning, when you're scrolling on your couch, scroll with intention. Start liking content that aligns with real estate to train your algorithm on what to shoot your way and where to shoot your content too. Because the way the algorithm works is when you are favored by the people in your group. It doesn't matter, even if you have 100 followers. I have clients who have 170 followers and got a lead already from that first filming session. And what we were talking about was her personal experience, her parents' experience with real estate, right? Real life experience. That was a talking head video. But given that her audience liked the content, even the trends that we did, the funny videos or the pointing here, that still works. Those concepts still work. They actually perform much better, um, to be honest with you guys. They perform much better because they're relatable and they've been proven to work, and we're repurposing them and making them our own. How to replicate, save the trend and put your spin on it. Maybe ask ChatGPT for a reference, right? We'll talk a little bit more for specific use cases after this, but I just want to give you guys that full idea of what the value of using trends is, because it's been proven to work. So the algorithm will give you another bonus and say, oh, yeah, I know what that video and that trend does. Everybody likes it. So therefore, more people will like it. And if I made a piece of content that my 5 friends all liked, it will give the algorithm 100%, like 5 stars. This account is going to reach more people, and it needs to be connected with more people like the ones who are already following her. So even if you have 10 followers, tell those friends to add you, to follow you, to like your posts, and really encourage the algorithm to shoot your content out to more people. That's why sometimes a fresh account works great, because it's a fresh algorithm that you can start to train. Um, we're still talking about creating the content. What we talked about particularly are what to create, how to make it unique, because every brand is different. But here are some tools that I want you to explore on your downtime. If you can download them to your phone, that would be amazing. I hope you guys have a video and you tag me at the end of this session. But they're simple to use, easy to create, and I'll show you what the teleprompter app that I use looks like. So it's orange. Did I have it? Deleted it. But it's a teleprompter app. It's orange. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. You can X out of that screen when it pops up. It says purchase this service. Like, you don't need it unless you want to fill it with a lot of data. I tend to try to avoid purchasing services unless I want to really maximize the value of what the next tier will offer. The Edits app. The Edits app is tied directly to Instagram, which will be key in our tutorial today. So download it as soon as possible, but it's really good at sharing how your video is performing. So there's a lot of data. There's data, there's editing tools. It's connected to the Instagram app, the teleprompter app, and then the captions app. The captions app is an app that you can use to add fancy text lettering on top of your talking head videos. Talking head videos was concept number 2, where I just grab that perfect set of that clip, what I created off of the teleprompter, upload it into captions.ai on your desktop, upload it to your phone directly from your camera roll, but it'll add text, it will add footage, it'll add some clips. You can change those clips. You can ask AI to make new clips. Photos only, no video, B-roll, but that's more of an advanced level of editing that requires some polishing at the end, which is what we will do for our clients to make their content a lot more different. But that doesn't mean that the what the app delivers is not valuable. It's still just as good, right? It's still amazing to use. So let's move on to the live tutorial. You guys have any questions or are curious about any subject that we talked about? We talked about quite a few. I'm only now pulling up a couple of example videos. If I'm posting on social media, would you say it's better to have a variety of content styles? Stick to one agenda style to one. Yeah. You will eventually want to spice it up a little bit and throw in a different content style. But we're looking for scalable, repeatable systems to help us buy back our time. Realistically, the simple ones do perform really well. So let's say you do try two formats. One works well, I'll use that one format for another week or two or so. And if it starts to build that traction and all of a sudden it doesn't, spice it up a bit. Try the other format. Love the question. Thank you, David. Here, I'm going to be pulling up. I should actually share my screen from my phone because it's going to be easier to use. Give me just a moment, and then I'll get myself in. Any other questions? Have you guys created content like this yet? Alrighty. I am in. And now I'm going to share my screen. Alrighty. Okay. You should be able to see, hold on. Trying to avoid the audio bouncing from my phone. I just muted that. So if it happens to change, let me know. But all right. So we'll start looking at a couple of video concepts right now. And I've saved a couple of these, and we'll talk about what is good content. We'll talk about how to use them for every video. There's going to be 4 videos. So let's start with this first one. So in preparation for this, I saved this video because 5 things no one told my husband about being married to a real estate agent. Funny, relatable, tells people a little bit more about me without saying much. But then in that 3, 4, 5 seconds, we see all of this text. If it aligns, I would like to then save it by clicking on 3 dots, pretending I'm scrolling and I found this video and I arrive here. I love this video. I want to use this again. I want to go and hit that 3 dots and save. Save is on the top left-hand corner. Now I have a couple of collections. I can just save it outright. It'll be saved, or I can create a new collection, and that collection will be recreate this. Okay. Saving that, liking it for good luck for the algorithm to shoot me more content like this. So it's saved. If you have the edits app downloaded, you'll be able to use this feature here. So download the app so you can follow along on this. And the recording will be on the BKCO Hub so you guys can see this too later on. But we want to look at the template. If I click that button, it prompts me to open the Edits app. If I open the Edits app, I'm automatically immersed in the editor portion of the app. It already has the text laid out. It's a template. It already has everything there. The only thing I need to do is add a clip. So I click on that Add a Clip button. Looks like it calls for 2 visuals. So I can go click, gallery, input, video, video. And at the very bottom, you're seeing a couple of photos on my screen, but you're also seeing that there are additional 7 clips to replace. I'd probably be prepared to just add those 7 clips, but it will at the end hit that checkbox and then it'll put everything together. Another way to edit, maybe say you want to use a different part of the clip. You can click on, because there's 7 of these, you can click on these and then hold it to move things around. Or there is a editing bar on the very bottom that will allow you to adjust the audio, speed it up, add some effects, zooming in. Oh, that looks way better with just a zoom in. Who knew, right? Just a lot of different fun stuff to use, cut out, enhance voice, a lot of different stuff. So we are aiming for simple. We want to just finish this reel, given that that's the end of it. I'm going to hit next. It's downloaded into my phone with the audio, with the text. B-roll, text, overlay, done. It's saved. I'm going to download it again just to make sure. Sometimes the settings don't give you that a heads up that it doesn't save it automatically. But we're done. That video clip is ready to be posted. It's in my gallery. It's done. Okay. So next type of content took us like a minute. Next type of content that I want to show you is something along the lines of B-roll, clip, and trendy reel. So it kind of mixes both types. This is the hook on screen again, with that recipe of giving the information outright and then diving into the caption to talk a lot more about why and option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. Why? Because of how simple it is, the amount of information, but how easy was it for Jason to be in the house, prop up the camera, and film him walking around, preparing for the open house. That's it. That's the entire clip. You could do this at any house. You could do this with a few different outfits. You could do things differently to get different results. Try something different, right? And so something simple and easy to recreate. For this case, there is no template. I still want to save it. I still want to use it again. So I'm gonna now add it to my recreate um, folder, my recreate folder. Quick tip, if I were to take a screenshot of this, took a screenshot, and then save it to photos. I'm on the iPhone, so it should be the same. Things change, but I know that majority of the time the content remains, um, or the phones basically have the same features. But I saved that photo, took a screenshot. I'm opening it up in my app, my phone app, my gallery phone, my gallery in my phone, and I can click on the text and simply copy it if I wanted to reuse it, right? In this case, I'm going to follow through with using the Edits app, which is this one right here. And the Edits app is going to finish off my content piece. Next, we are still in that project. So I'm going to go back to the very bottom, exit out of it, go back to another project and open one up. Here it's giving me the options to film one outright, to film my video and then add that text on top, or I can choose from the gallery. So I can upload something and put the text on top, right? Okay, so we'll start off with the gallery. We'll start off with this video right here. Then in this video, I was editing and I wanted to do like a time lapse. So, not relevant to what we're doing, by the way, but I just want to show you guys a quick feature in how to use the speed adjustment, speed. So I want to make a long clip. Maybe I'm walking around the house, fluffing up the pillows, getting the house ready, and I want to make it a lot shorter to match that standard of hitting that less than 10-second B-roll clip. I open up the speed adjustment button on the very bottom, and now I'm here making it shorter. You will see on the timestamp right below the video, it is now moving. The orange is how long the clip originally is. We want to make it shorter, or actually, that's what's being adjusted. I'm going to make it so much more shorter. Okay. For the last piece, we just want to make something that looks so similar to this video right here, which is very simple, text overlay, not to overdo it. We're going back to simply add text. There was a button right down below here, add text. So I'm going to click on that. I still have that text saved. I copied it. I'm going to hit paste. Boom, it's there. I'm going to move over to styles, two buttons down. Well, actually, the first one is the style button. So if you want to have that, it matches exactly what the text looks like in the original video. And then, which is not necessary, right? We're still looking for our like specific font. And I would save this font and use it over and over again, whatever I prefer. All work great. But then now I'm noticing the contrast is affecting the visibility of the text. So I'm going to change the color to black, which is the next button over. And then forward, this is an animation button, which will make your text move. Super cute, fun. This is another editing tool that will help enhance the the edit of your text. doesn't, I guess these ones move too. So things change quite a bit. There's another button for text customization to give you an outline. If you're noticing the change on the screen, we have exactly now what we saw in that video on the left-hand side. As I'm clicking on the text, there is a scroller on the leftmost side of the screen. The button right there is to increase the size of the text. That's the only text adjustment that's not necessarily in the tools right down below that we've been using. But it's right there and it's quick and easy to use. So now my next step would be to pull this editing menu down so you can see everything. Oops, if I click on the text, it brings it back up. Don't get frustrated. It happens to me too every day. And now another way to do it is if you click on the text and adjust the size of it with your fingers, 2 fingers on the text, and you can adjust it. It also gives you another layer to minimize or maximize the size of the text. Okay, let's say the video is as polished as I want it to be. I want to cut off these ends. Split, select the clip, and hit the split button right below. Notice that there are different editing tools that are visual right below, but once I click on the video, it opens more. Once I click out of that, it goes back to the original, right? You could see captions there too. So meaning I could put in my talking head video and hit the captions button and it'll give me a full set of captions to use. Now I have a solid talking head video. But just wanted to give you guys that quick tip on how to utilize these editing tools, is essentially we are done here. We want to export this video, hit next. Oh, it's too long. Yep, that's why I clipped it right there. And I clipped it at this side to keep me at 3 seconds. Oops. Undo button. It took away my text. Undo, undo. There you go. So sometimes the text will go away with the footage. So I'm just going to make it shorter. To make it shorter, I'm clicking on the text and moving the arrows on the right and the left side like that. Righty? Again, with deleting the first and or the videos on the opposite sides of the main clip that I want. So now we have a 3-second clip ready to export. Want to make sure that the text goes all the way to the end. Once I do move it over, it pulls up this yellow line to show me exactly where the clip ends. So if I slowly hover over the video, now I've got a full video with text from end to end. This is essential for videos that are short because it gives that illusion that the video is repeating itself, right? That it's not repeating itself. Okay. I see a couple questions in the chat. I want to give a quick moment to answer this one. How do you time? Let's say you have an open house this Saturday. When would you start posting about it? Ooh, a week before. If you do know, as soon as you do, I would go on your story. Yeah, and yeah, a day before. I know stories only last one day, but it does pop up at the top of every page. So for people who are already really connected with you, they'll see it first. There's only a couple of spots for stories to fill up. And what I'm talking about here is going into the feed. There's only 4 spots. Mine is the first where I can add a story. I can add my story right there and record a video. But then these ones are the first ones that pop up because they're the most interacted with. And so you want to be the one that pops up in people's timeline, but post that story, get a video if you can. And then during the open house, just set up the camera while you're doing the setup set up the camera while you are walking around the house to show off the rest of the house. Now, one last thing we want to go over is a combination of the talking head video and a fun reel that's also made with edits. The the audio, you can also click on that to use it. This was the original video for this audio clip that has resulted in so many remixes, reshares. So what that means is it's trending. I clicked on the audio. Like there's two ways to use this video. And there's also two reasons why this works so well is because the concept is proven to work. But like the concept is a video of the realtor sitting here at her desk, and the text on screen is also a part of the trend itself. I can either use the edits app where made with edits, that sticker right there. I can click on that and go immediately into editing mode, or I could go into the reel, into the audio, which is that moving word right there underneath Debbie's name. I can click on that to make sure it is a trendy reel, that using this format is going to improve my reach and analytics and all of that stuff. And as you can see, there's an option to use this audio. Trends are audios. Trends are dances. They're also concepts. So I want you guys to think about that. Going back into the different type of videos. Okay, this one is a talking head video. Gary Keller looking directly into the camera, giving the, and I'm going to send you guys this one in the chat, and I'll send all of the videos that we talked about in the chat so you guys can take a quick peek. Copy, and paste. But the talking head video of Gary also follows that recipe of having a hook, presenting the problem, and then giving a call to action. But with that said, he is using text only, a simple format, also created, if I'm not mistaken, with the Edits app. So if you're ever in doubt, look for accounts that are doing well and use those concepts. There is no shame in recreating that content because we know the benefit to it. Here we are at one other video trend idea. That's funny. That's true. And the vision is to showcase you working, right? The non-traditional aspects of real estate that people don't normally see, walking around a construction site, a home that's not been built, the nitty gritty side, you could be displaying that part of real estate, right? Because what it says here, 10 things you need to do before designing your new home. 1, call me. I'll do the other 9. This is a video that we've done and for our clients that's already performed so well. That also has proven due to the shares, due to the likes, due to the reposts. That's this cycle icon right there. So these are concepts that have proven to work, and you can simply use this template and start creating content of your own. What I don't want us to do is just fall into the trap of trying to overthink things. You and your idea are amazing. It's great. And when it comes and that information is heavy on your heart, like you just left the inspection, take that camera out and record yourself right then and there. You're going to see the difference between the level of energy that you're able to bring to the table versus when you have it all ironed out and you want to make sure that it's really perfect because people can tell whether you're being authentic or not. Which specific apps are you using for captions and teleprompter? I'll show you guys right here. So I use the Edits app. I use it for the simple texts and personally where I use it. But I also like to use a software called the Captions app. Captions. Oh, I don't have it downloaded. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and replace current screen. Da-da. Alrighty, you guys are here with me all throughout this class. I really appreciate you guys being patient, asking questions, uh, curious and diving in. Really would love to see your content. Okay. We're all different in our own right, and all the content you create is going to be amazing. Once you put your foot on the gas and just start building up your unique brand, right? Your brand is what sells the real estate, right? The people know that you bring that value. This is the Captions app, by the way. Captions dot AI slash desktop is where I go. Um, oh no, did they remove it? They were changing some stuff, like a different format of it, but Captions dot AI is the way to go for some cool, fun caption styles. What you would do is import your video here. Um, do I have a video on standby? You would import the video and then select a style. Just to give you guys a quick preview, these are the styles and the captions that are being utilized. They also come with B-roll, which is the additional clips that help enhance the final result. If I'm filming content for a listing that isn't mine and I already got setup permissions, do I need to specifically state in that video that it isn't my listing? Common courtesy. If you're talking about the listing itself and you are showcasing the property, definitely put their listing, their name and their brokerage in the caption. It gets more complicated when you do reuse the video. So definitely for the videos that you are repurposing, it should not be able to show that this is someone's particular house. If it does, it's better to be safe to acknowledge the listing agent. Some people don't go as far as tagging the person and finding them online to give them credit, but a simple mention really does help you stay away from any potential risks of compliance issues. These ones are fun to use. This one, Prism Pro, I've seen it being used a lot more with a lot of the high-end homes. That style that looks like Adobe Premiere editing is really taking the market by storm. You will see that this is being used by a AI actor. Would really encourage you guys to be the one to be in front of the camera because people see you in person too, and that is a part of your brand, particularly uh, not quite a fan of AI video characters yet, and probably won't be. But any other questions? Which the teleprompter app, it's an orange app. Let me try to look for it on the App Store. It's mainly on your phone. The App Store. Let me see. Teleprompter app. What I encounter is storage issues for my phone, so I delete it and then I re-download it every time I have to use it. So just a heads up, I purchased that subscription, which I think it was like $19 for the whole entire year. So when I go in, I just say continue. I already purchased. Oh, annual $30. Monthly $8. $30 is such a steal to keep it for the whole entire year. Annual premium restored. Now I'm back into my my app. I already purchased. Oh, okay. So I just have to exit out of it and then sign back in, and then I'm in, and I can start using the features. It's very simple. Okay, you're logged on. All right, when you log in, you will encounter the first screen, a couple of policy updates and security settings changes. After you're done, you arrive at this screen without me being on camera. I should be able to see myself with my phone, right? With the front camera. So I can start recording from here, but I really need to edit my script. So I'll go into the pencil icon right underneath and hit edit. And then I can upload my teleprompter script and then hit record. Once I do hit record, the teleprompter app will force those words to kind of start moving up like you're reading on it. Yep, so simple. If this was helpful, please let me know. Please let me know if you guys are interested in any more classes. Next month, we are going to be talking about adding on more layers to incorporating Linktree, ManyChat, and also to follow up with our command favorites, which is looking into ways to market your listing with Atom, with Canva, with all of the different free available tools, resources like Scott Leroy Marketing, how we can utilize them to help us buy back our time and create more marketing materials. Our business is sales, marketing, and operation. And so if we're filling in those buckets, we're going to keep on continuing and moving forward with success. I wish you all an amazing week. Thank you for being here with me and see you next Thursday. Take care. Bye.